Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of Alice in Wonder, where I share with you some practical tools and tips on accessing your own energy field and a few thoughts and hopefully inspirational insights. So today, I wanted to address the advent of the coronavirus and what's really happening with that, I believe. So we are becoming acutely aware through this event of how connected we are with everybody we come in contact with as we go through our daily life. We're hypersensitized now to these human beings that are actually in our field. We can go through life really unconscious most of the time, and we can make a transaction at the grocery store and not even make eye contact with the person behind the cash register, if there even is a person behind the cash register now, right? So I think one of the gifts of the virus is it's making us very aware of who is in our immediate surroundings and also how much we need those people and how much we really, as the thought of social distancing gets more and more real and we're making choices about where we go, and we may be forced in the very near future not to socialize like we're going to become acutely aware of how much we love and need, and we'll miss that. So some really cool things that are coming out of this, though. So on the bright side, the heightened awareness and appreciation, absolutely. I've noticed some really positive things on the internet. So the Metropolitan Opera is doing free opera now with their recorded series. You can watch in the evenings. I think it comes on at 5:30 on a Sunday night. Verify that. And Yitzhak Perlman, the famous violinist, did Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on his blender this morning. And Yo-Yo Ma did a little free cello concert. So there's a lot of good, and the internet is keeping us connected in really cool ways. And I know as we go along, we're going to find ways to have parties and dinners together and maintain that connection. So I think that a lot of what's happening is we're letting fear add an extra division that is not necessary. If we can step back and become more the observer of our experience and try to appreciate everyone, appreciate our life experience, but also become a little bit of a compassionate observer, then we can observe fear in that context and remember the little acronym for fear: forgetting everything is all right. FEAR, forgetting everything is all right, because at the core, in the base, everything is okay. If you want a great reminder, get out in nature. We were lucky enough to get up in the Rocky Mountains today. We're close by. It takes us 30 minutes to get up there and see beautiful vistas. I saw my first bluebird today, heard singing. I'm going to post a little short video with this so you can share a beautiful vista and white mountain peaks and just the beauty of the creation and how that's okay and that's continuing. Springtime is coming to the Rockies. It's probably already out in the lowlands, but it's such a gift to remember that life cycles are continuing and we're part of all of that beauty. And it's pretty easy to get out in nature and stay safe, actually. And it's going to become more challenging, but there are ways to go out with friends and still maintain a safe distance and still experience the beauty of nature together. So don't forget that. So the exercise today is one that I call I Am Connected. And so what you do is you place one hand over your heart, and I want to introduce this idea of allowing your attention to float down into your heart space. We're going to use that a lot more in the future, but right now let's start a little mental, let's start to tread the path from our mind and where our attention is kind of focused and where we imagine that our thought emanates, and allow the center of the attention to just gently drift down into the center of your heart space. And then place your other hand, and people ask me which hand goes where. It doesn't matter. Just do what feels good and feels comforting to you. one hand over your heart space and the other below your navel. So you feel grounded and centered there. And imagine that you're really grounded where you stand. You belong on this earth, you're part of the creation, and you can claim your place there. So I'm going to close my eyes again. I invite you to do the same. And let's take 5 nice deep breaths there. Breathing in through the nose and gently out the mouth. And imagine that we're connecting the space between our heart space and that area below our navel. We still feel centered and grounded. Now allow your shoulders to drop just 1/4 of an inch. Relax into that space. And imagine the words, I am connected. I am connected. So a lot of what I teach and train and I believe is that we need to refamiliarize ourselves with the center of our being, our true self, our true nature. There's a Chinese saying that goes roughly, don't let the weeds grow on the path to a dear friend's house. And so as we familiarize ourselves with how to get back into the center of our being, our God center, our connection to the divine, our place of origin, resting deep within, we can begin to express ourselves in more healthy, whole ways that are more in alignment with who we really are. So a lot of people ask me in this work, so what do you do about negative energy? Well, I don't really think there's really negative energy. There's energy vibrating at different rates. There's higher level energy, lower level energy. And we, as we become more aware and we become more awake, we can choose to interact with all energies how we want. There's a flow and an interplay. So I know in some martial arts, there is the idea that you allow the opponent to come near you, but you don't interact and engage. You deflect that energy off. So when I feel what would be called negativity or lower vibration or energies I don't want to get involved with, guilt, fear, anger, hysteria, drama, I can kind of choose to be the compassionate observer, know that I'm human, know that I'm going to have feelings, know that I'm going to react. I'm not always the person I want to be. But when I can stay centered and I become more and more aware, the weeds are getting tamped down on that pathway to our center, and it's easier and easier to get to. So as we get challenges, we can choose to let them pass on by. So today, I want you to remember you are connected and invite you to practice this exercise. And thanks for joining me again. Remember, be connected and be kind.